Welcome to another episode of STORYHIVE on location in Victoria with Beats, Eats,
and more.
Yes. Nice little calm whisper brought down the energy, you know? I'm your host, Kazi, and we are broadcasting live right now from the unceded ancestral Lekwungen territories. I want to wish everybody a happy National Indigenous Peoples Day. Also, summer solstice today. And utmost love, gratitude, and respect to the original protectors and stewards of these lands and these waters. That is the Songhees and the Esquimalt First Nations who've been resisting, protecting, and it's the only reason why we're here today. And today on the show, what I'm stoked about is this is 5 out of 5 of the interviews we've done over the last 4 days, which has been crazy because I usually don't do that many all in a row. And our final guest for this Victoria chapter is the one and only TK, the artist, Jayden Brown. TK is a Nigerian-born, Victoria-based Afrosoul jazz fusion artist blending R&B, gospel, jazz, Afrobeats, and more. He's played Tofino Jazz Fest and Catalano, and recently nominated for Afrobeats Artist of the Year at the Western Canadian Music Awards, which I might be at, by the way. Yeah. TK brings a deep rhythmic connection to the stage, known for the rare ability to sing and play drums simultaneously, creating a powerful and immersive live performance. His debut album, A Journey Under the Stars, was co-produced by Jayden Brown, a rising producer known for his genre-blurring soundscapes. He continues to push creative boundaries, driven by a deep passion for sonic innovation and a commitment to crafting compelling musical experiences. Wow. Heavy statements, fam.
Yeah.
That is amazing. How we doing? Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us. Yeah. I'm doing great. That was a fantastic intro.
Yeah.
Who wrote that bio? Yeah. Was that me?
It was a combo, you know?
That was amazing.
Yeah. We're right now in the studio where this A Journey Under the Stars was mainly created, yes?
Yeah, just right here. It's in my house, but bedroom converted studio.
That's where the best music gets made, TBH.
I think so. Humble beginnings, right?
Yeah. I think I really want to start off with asking y'all about your meet cute.
I have an educated guess what that is.
The meet cute is what my younger cousins taught me, means literally like the moment that you met that was like cute.
Yeah.
If it was cute.
It was
cute after like a year.
Yeah. What was it? It was like meant to be, I think. Like that's how I describe it. Like when I started, when I had the idea of like wanting to pursue this music thing professionally, I realized very quickly I was like making a list of like all my strengths and all the things that I would need help with, and one of the things I definitely needed help with was production, and so. And then a whole host of other things, but I just also was looking for community as well. So I just went on Instagram and I used to just try and find people. I used to go to random jam sessions and just things around in the community, and just the trying to immerse myself in the scene, like what's actually going on here, who are the people that are doing the same things that I'm doing. So I just searched like Victoria music scene or something hashtag on Instagram, and then I saw his sister was doing Shanice, by the way. She's an incredible musician as well, vocal coach. Yes. She also featured on a couple of songs in the album and did like backing vocals and things like that. And so I saw her singing, and then I was like, man, she has like one of the purest techniques you would ever hear. She sounds like a whistle, very classically trained, incredible technique. So yeah, I messaged her and I didn't get a response from her for like 6-7 months.
Oh my God.
And months and months, and then I realized it was because she was pregnant at the time and she was just dealing with all of that. But anyways, after the baby came, she messaged me back. I'm glad she did. I don't even know how she remembered the message from like whatever long ago. And then I went over to her house, and that's where I saw Jayden for the first time, and he was like, oh, it's my brother, and then we just jammed and we talked, and I didn't even know at the time that he was a producer, and that's how we met.
Yeah, that was the first time we met.
What was the moment of then realizing, oh, you produce, like maybe we should do something together?
I mean, you had been over a couple times after the fact, and I mean, I'd shown him some beats here and there, but I don't know. We were just we were doing our own thing at the time still. I also do filming, so this one time he asked me to like film for his show, so I was helping him out doing that first.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until I met another Afrobeats artist and started kind of getting more into that bag and that vibe and made a project and kind of progressed in my own journey of production as well.
That's Poncho?
Yeah, that's Poncho.
Yeah.
It wasn't until me and him started kind of progressing our sound and story that we kind of clicked a little more and was like, okay, how about you help me make my project with me, type of thing.
Yeah, and I pulled up here like the 2nd of January, was it? Like New Year's 2024, like just last year, with this massive idea. I was like, let's make an album and release it in 2 months.
Actually?
we wanted to release the album released this year in May. We wanted to release it last year in March.
Yeah. He didn't know the process quite yet of actually making a project, so I was like, okay, take
respect
it.
the hustle, though.
I respect the hustle, man. This guy's a hustler for sure. So I was like, okay, I see where it's coming from.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we made it work. I think we made it work.
Yeah,
we made it work. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Little over a year later, and the album's finally finished.
Yes. Well, it's an amazing album. Really. It's like,
Thank
it's
you.
a full beginning, middle, end. It tells a story. It tells your story, sonically speaking, message-wise. I feel like there's also something for everyone in there.
Definitely.
I was saying earlier, before we started the interview, that Exercise is definitely the one that I want to dance to. And that the songs that you guys made together, Golden Child, and even when we were driving in the car, because I was the one who was really taking in the music heavy, because preparing for the interview, but Jamal was like, man, TK, emotional kind of guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, Nigeria, represent, let's go.
Yeah, well, we are very like expressive people, and I guess that's just how I carry myself. Like coming here was very therapeutic. Like I'll tell him multiple times that I walk into the studio and like all my stress would just vanish. And we worked like, I'm glad the album took a year, because you have to, during a year, you go through so many things. Like you go through so many cycles. I was finishing up school at the time. I had just graduated, uncertainty, not knowing what to do next, where to go. And all those emotions were captured in a lot of the songs. That's why it feels the way it feels, because it's just no cap in my rap. It was real. It was real. Like it was very, like I had to be very vulnerable when I was writing, because why not? That's the art. It's just like, it's like a time capsule. And sometimes when I we produce the songs and whatever, and you listen to it like 1,000 times, so I don't listen to it for a while. And sometimes it catches me, and I'm like, oh wow, like in that moment I really captured what I was feeling in that time. And that vulnerability with the way we express ourselves is what gives the music life.
That's definitely felt.
Yeah.
So I tuned in to shout outs to Squishy Podcast. They did a great interview with you.
They did.
The more not rated G, just free for all.
It was,
adults only listen. I got to know a little bit more about your personal story and how you did the school path to make the parents happy. But like,
shout out to my dad, he's probably watching.
But like music was also the calling and the passion and the outlet that was necessary for you as an artist. And so I thought that was incredible that you were able to do school and also still pursue your art.
I guess I was able to. It really was I just barely made it. Like it was just like at the finish line, just trying to get through it. It was very difficult.
Well, shout outs to you.
Thank you.
You know, I understand too, coming from being an immigrant as well, and wanting to pursue art in our lifetime. It's I had to have a conversation with my family when I decided to choose like a more creative path as well. It was like, this is the reason why you also immigrated out here, was like to give us better opportunities, and this is that opportunity, like an opportunity to be a creative, you know?
No, music is in both of our families for sure. I mean, obviously his sister is like super talented, and my dad is a percussionist and a singer. He's sung choir for many years. My uncle is a musician as well. My sister, beautiful vocalist. So it's in the family for sure. But like I guess with like coming from where we came from, we needed to survive, and to do that, education was the number one thing. But yeah, coming here, I just felt like it made sense for me to pursue this because I had this, I felt like Canada gave me the space, it gave me the time, and it gave me like just more opportunity. And for me now, it doesn't even feel like a question. And yeah, my parents are now very, very supportive. Now I really like appreciate that support because I was gonna do it anyways because that's just who I am. But it's nice to like do it knowing that they're cheering me on. It gives me that extra like, you know.
Yes. And I think in many ways it's because they're seeing us able to do something that maybe they didn't have that choice, or they couldn't make that decision for themselves at that time.
I don't know. I guess I have to talk to him about it. I don't know. Like I haven't really talked to him about like how he emotionally, like how is that like he is interpreting all of this. Yeah.
How about for you, musical family as well?
Somewhat, yeah. When my dad was younger, he used to be in a band, and I'm pretty sure he played saxophone. And he's just an artistic guy in himself. But yeah, musical dad. My mom, not so much, but both of them always very supportive, and you know, let me do what I wanted to do when I was growing up, and like supported whatever I was interested in, you know, like didn't stop me from pursuing creative things, or there was no pressure to like go into school like that. So, and you know, like they let me make my own decisions and follow my own path. So yeah, I'm grateful for that.
Shout outs to parents. I'd love to know from both of you if you can remember the first time, like earliest memory from when you were younger, where you heard music and you realized it was more than just sound.
The moment I wanted to pursue like music, I was like 14. I'd been doing music since I was younger. Like I was a big fan of like Guitar Hero, like just the game, and like did the guitar lessons and drum lessons and whatever. But the moment I realized I wanted to pursue music, I was listening to, I swear it was like, it was Claire de Lune, like that piano by Debussy, so some classical piano.
Okay.
But I don't know, it just moved me to tears. Like I couldn't stop crying. Like it was so emotional for me, and I was like, what even is this? Like, how are these sounds making me feel like this? So the rest is history. I just kind of watched YouTube and taught myself the whole way. And now we're here. Yeah.
That's dope. How about you?
Yeah, for me, my earliest memories, it's just that I have like little fragments here and there. I used to like bug my local church drummer. His name was Emmanuel, and I was just obsessed with him. Like, my dad is a pastor, so I used to be in church a lot, and it's Pentecostal church. There was a lot of music. Like that's where I got my musical training, really.
Yes.
I was just obsessed with the drummer. I just could not get my eyes off him. Like that's my earliest memory. I'd follow him around. I'd beg him to teach me. I'd beg him to like. And then there's this time that he gave me a couple of sticks. Just go, just take this and like go. And then I just leave me alone. And then like I'd just be like hitting things around and things like that was my earliest memory. And I remember this one time. I was playing on the church drum just by myself because, you know, we used to go there and stay for hours sometimes. And played this hip hop groove because like I was like, this is how I learned how to play the drums. There was a piano with recorded instruments on there, pre-recorded takes, and I would just click and it would play a song, and I try and replicate the song on the drums, and I play and play until I got it. So this one time. I got this groove that I've been trying. I don't even remember how long, and it was like it made me like like I went crazy. Like I was like, I can't believe my hands just did that combination, and I was just so like, and it made me become addicted. And I just started trying to push more and more. What can I add? Can I add this roll here? Can I add this fill here? And it was very like I would get lost for hours on end, and this happened for a very long time, and still happens to this day.
How did you, I guess, like master and learn like the drumming and the singing? 'Cause that's hard. Like Anderson .Paak can rap and sing and drum. Like,
well, I rap too.
How does your brain?
Nick Jonas from the Jonas Brothers.
What about him?
That's the first person I saw do it, like in 2008.
Yeah.
And I saw it on Disney. Like they had the theme song where he was playing, and I was like, because I loved singing, I loved playing, but my brain never connected that you could do both at the same time. So then I was watching, I was like, wait, is he singing and drumming at the same time? And then it just clicked to me, and it just opened that possibility in my head. This is why it's very important to expose children to things, right? Because it didn't even occur to me that was a thing, because I'd never seen it before. So when I saw him do it, I was like, oh, you can do both? Like it was like oh wow, you can do both. And then that just shattered that limitation for me instantly, the fact that I saw somebody else do it. And so then I started practicing. So then what I used to do is I used to sing backup sometimes, or like one or two songs here and there. But it wasn't really till like I'll say like 3-4 years ago that I really started being a front man and drumming at the same time, because I was with this other band, Locker and Tones, and they needed me to jump in as a lead for a couple of songs. So I would do that, and like it's just very recent, this like, and it's just lots of practice. I don't get on stage if I put hours and hours and hours and hours of practice. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Can you multitask with an instrument and something else at the same time?
You should see him working in the studio. He does it like a video game. It's ridiculous. I've worked with so many producers. Like if his speed is over here, everybody else's speed is over here. Like nothing like I've ever seen. Like it's just like see, like he's just working like this. And when he gets in the zone, I just don't bother him. I just keep quiet, and he just does his thing. Like that is very cool. You don't see it on stage. People like 300 people aren't cheering for you, but that's what gets the records done. That's why that's what gets because he's so fast. Like his hands are in keyboards. The keyboard's an extension of his fingers at this time.
The computer's my instrument for sure. But
I'd love to know, were there any artists, albums, or sounds you were obsessed with as a kid or teen that still influence your work today?
I mean, a lot of these people are in this room with us right here. Like I got Frank Ocean on the wall there.
Yes.
Huge inspiration for me and my sound. Just the production, the emotional, like impact that his stuff has. J. Cole is a classic for me. J. Cole, and then of course Bob Marley, Childish Gambino. He's like one of my favorite just all around artists ever, and his producer like Ludwig Göransson, huge. I'm a huge fan of his. Yeah, Ludwig, because I don't know, he does like movie scores and stuff too. I've always wanted to get into that, so whoever's watching. In terms of artists that I listen to that inspired me, I would say those artists that I.
Good answers. And I love that you're the one who drew all of these.
For sure.
Yeah. How about you, TK?
Artists that inspired me, I have to say, that there was a time, there was a particular movement of sound in the Black American gospel scene. Because gospel is all I listened to when I was younger. Because I'm a church boy. And that, like, I used to like put on my headphones, go into my dad's car, and just stay there for hours, just listening, like just man, they were cooking. Like just the harmonies, the arrangements, the vocalists, Tasha Cobbs, Kirk Franklin, Donnie McClurkin, Don Moore at the time, Jay Moss. I'm trying to remember all their names right now, and that sound, because neo soul and R&B were very much influenced by the Black American gospel sound. So they really like just the way they, even with their accents and the way they like controlled their tone and their pitch, was a very big influence on how I sound today and how I write songs and stuff like that. It was just such a, because it's gospel music, right? So it's such a reverence and worship, and that's just appreciation and deep meaning for this thing that's so much bigger than you. It makes, because you're trying to offer up the song to something that's so much bigger than you. That's why the song sounds so big, because the sonics of it have to match the feeling that you're trying to create of offering up this worship. So so that was one of my biggest influences for sure. Even when you see me perform live and stuff, it's very much like very soulful and things like that. So that was my initial influences. But for this particular project, I was listening to Wizkid, I was listening to Fela Kuti, this is our Nigerian Afrobeat heroes. I was listening to Odunsi the Engine, who started the Alte Cruise wave in 2018. Jules, listened to Jules for a long time, Burna Boy, and just I mixed the soulful sound that I had growing up with the more modern feel of Afrobeats and stuff like that, and we have like a unique space where we've landed with that. And then also just being in this city as well. This city has such a huge jazz influence. They have a huge jazz history here. This is a very jazzy city. So when I was a lot of these songs were already playing live for years before we even got into the studio. So because of the jamming with all these jazz musicians and stuff like that, it changed the way we wrote some of the Afrobeat songs. So because even now, like, we go submit our very Afrobeat songs to playlists, and they don't even know what to do with it because it doesn't sound like traditional Afrobeat songs, and it's like, that's the point. Like, that's how music evolves, right?
Yes.
So so all of those influences is what has created A Journey Under the Stars.
Earlier you had said that like what you were inspired by from these people who you see as mentor figures is that they had a like sense of conviction and a real belief in whatever it is that they were creating. What do you think that is for you?
My conviction, I believe in the power of music. I believe in the soul. I believe in its power to bring people together. I believe in its I believe in it as an avenue of expression, authentic expression, and I believe in it as an avenue for truth to be like really in line with yourself. I believe that for me, it's an avenue where I know that I love this, it's my passion, and I can use it to help my family and put food on my table and a roof over my head. And that conviction is what keeps me going.
Do you feel the same?
I do feel the same. Yeah, we're on the same wavelength, me and TK here, for sure. Yeah, and I'm always just striving for excellence, essentially. Like there's always growth to do, and always, new heights to reach, and that's kind of where I aim my sights at. So that's what keeps me going for the next project. It seems endless, like it's a ever unfolding journey that creativity is, and I think creativity is kind of endless. Like it's an infinite thing. So I just strive to tap into that and allow for myself to not get stuck or held up in certain areas. I see creativity and art as kind of like it's intertwined with myself and how I am as a person. So like if I'm emotionally unstable and in a mess, it's like creativity isn't necessarily happening and flowing. So it's like it's intertwined with my life, so if I keep my mind straight and if I keep my life like flowing positively, then creativity is like open, and that's kind of what keeps me on this journey, because it's like it just allows me to keep growing. And that's
Totally, I feel you on that. And you know, if we have the belief that these are just our meat suits, right? And we're souls in these meat suits having this human experience, you know, and one of the greatest gifts that we can be given is that we can tap into like being a channel for creativity to move through us and be expressed through us. Like that is like, you need to be open, right?
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, that's my perspective on that.
Yeah, I feel like look at the long history of people who have been trying to like, you know, express the music that they're hearing through them, and we're still getting more people. Like it's just never ends. Like in the 1920s or whatever, there were the jazz guys, and you know, and then later on, then in the 50s they had their own people. In the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, Michael Jackson has come and gone, Miles Davis has come and gone, and yet there's still more musicians with more ideas, with more like it's just never ends. Like in 50 years there's gonna be another artist here. So when you really think about it from that perspective, it's like this well that never runs dry, and it becomes like a lifelong pursuit. It becomes like this lifelong, because you know that you can never in 80 years. It's been hundreds of years we've been writing music, and ideas are still coming.
Let's talk about this project because it came out a month ago. It
Wow,
took you a
time
year
flies.
and a bit to create,
Yeah.
but I'm sure
Oh, more than a year.
this is what I'm saying.
I've been the first song I wrote like 2019, maybe like All Night. The hook for All Night I wrote in 2019. So yeah, like 5 years. Yeah, yeah.
I'd love to hear more about how this all came together, and more importantly, let's just start actually with why it's called A Journey Under the Stars.
I was dealing with some health issues for a very long time, and I couldn't like it made me unable to like leave my house. Like I couldn't like get outside and do stuff. Not during the day or even at night. It was a little difficult because of the way it caused me to react. So the period when I had the idea for this album was right after the sickness had gone. So I was like moving around again and walking and doing lots of strolling around, and during the summertime of like, so was it 2021-ish, and in that time I was contemplating so much, because it's like my options in the world were so limited at the time because of the issues I was dealing with, and then the sickness went away, and all of a sudden I had endless possibilities of things to do. And in that time, in that quiet time, I had rediscovered my love for music, because I had put it at the back burner for a while because I was chasing other things, and you know, medical degree and all of this other stuff. But that time it had come back, and I used to go for these long walks, and usually it was in the evening under the stars. So it was a symbolism of just me being able to go out again. So just like and it was like, it felt like the start of a journey. Like even the first song on the album is called Start of Something, which is crazy because at the time we hadn't even like thought of or dreamt about it. But it's crazy how all these things happen. So yeah, just in life is a journey, and we're doing it under the stars. There you go.
Literally, just on a spinning rock.
Yes, on a spinning rock under the stars. That's how it came about.
Big shout outs to your partner. Please say her name again.
Violet Beach.
Yes, Violet Beach, because this is a beautiful canvas. I heard that it took like 9 months, like of
10 months.
Yeah, or of listening to the music and interpreting the music. Is that how the process was in creating this, or did you give any direction, or what was that?
TK just had this like idea, this wild idea of him like looking into the sunset with like, what even was it? Was it?
I could tell you.
Yeah, you tell.
So basically, where I stay, there's like this long strip that goes all the way downtown, and she tried to replicate it. If you look at the trees, it's like it's going like into the sunset,
Yeah.
and that's kind of how it looks from my house when I'm sitting. And then like at the end of the street, there's the sunlight. So I was just trying to describe that. So remember when I said I was walking around a lot, and so this point is kind of like the start of the journey. So I had like, and then I wanted like to capture each special moments. So basically from walking from where I'm sitting to the end of the street, and then I wanted to capture each special moment in each different parts of that street. So that was the idea behind it. So here we captured like us on stage. We captured like this moment was a shot from Evening Under the Stars, which was a rendition of A Journey Under the Stars, a show we had 2 years ago. Then we captured, Rowan on the sax, and we captured, you see Shanice's kids on the side over there.
I was gonna ask for those little babies.
Yes,
my nephews.
and then
You in the
you can see
studio
Jayden in
right
the
here.
studio over there.
Right there.
And then me, my girlfriend, Ruby, who's always been a big part of this whole thing as well. So just capturing like everything that went into putting together this project in this big journey. And then as you can see, it feels like you're looking into endlessness because we don't quite know how all of this is going to turn out. And that was the idea behind the art. And then she took it and did this, which I could have never done. This is, skill and years of practicing. And she herself, had never done anything like to this scale. So this project pushed all of us creatively, every single person, from the cover art to the songs itself, to the mixing, to the mastering, to the release party. It was just one big like expansion of our abilities. Really, the idea was so big that it caused us to be bigger and caused us to stretch and like if that's the point. If it doesn't make you grow, if it doesn't push you to your past your comfort zone, then it's not big enough.
Yeah, there was a lot of growth that happened during this album. A lot of growth, like skill-wise, personally. A lot of skill-wise, honestly, from the first.
What skills do you feel like you really honed in on?
The mastering, honestly, and also mixing, arranging. Like there were so many hours spent just arranging all these instruments that we had recorded, and then a lot. Like during this time, I really expanded my knowledge on like just mixing and mastering. And it's just kind of like a cohesive thing now in that sense. So like from the first song that we had done to the last song that we made for this, which was Golden Child, it's like I did go back and like apply my new skills to the tracks before release. But there was just a lot of growth that happened and just an understanding of the process in itself. Yeah.
In what ways do you feel you grew?
Oh man, like just like it helped me become a studio artist. I feel like in this newer age, people are studio artists first and then they learn how to be performers. I kind of did it the other way because I've been playing in church for years, so I was pretty comfortable on stage. But what I hadn't learned properly, where I hadn't like dialed down, was like the studio, and it's very different.
How so?
The singing technique, you have to use different. You can't like project as much in the studio. You have to like sing a little differently. You have to understand like how you're recording certain things. You can't when you're playing the drums, you can't be as dynamic as like there's just little tweaks and techniques to help it sound different. The studio version sound different from the live version. So I learned to be a studio artist, which is very important because as a live performer, it's great. You get one-on-one connection with the fans. But even if I played a show every day for 100 people, for the next year, I wouldn't reach like if I had released an album and it got like 50,000 streams. You can't reach as many people. The recorded music is how you reach people. Like so, it was a challenge to try and capture that live feel that we had because our live shows were great. Even before we had released a single song, we would get crowds moving. We'd get crowds singing to our songs even before they've never even heard it. So now trying to capture that feeling and change the dynamics to fit it into a studio song, that was really the challenge. I think we did all right.
I think we did.
I think we
Y'all
did.
did great.
I think we did great.
That's one of the main things that I wanted to catch with TK's album here is it's just the energy of his live shows. Because before we started working together, I would go and see his shows, and it would just be like the energy would just be like way up here, and just the synergy between him and his band members, it's just like it's unreal. So to actually capture that into something that can just go in everybody's pockets and they can just take with them, it's like that was a goal. That was a goal. That's what I remember even before we started this. I was like, TK, you just have to capture that somehow, put that in a box and like take it. And I think we definitely did it.
Wow. I am very excited to experience you live because that hasn't happened yet. And actually, I need to shout out Afro Girl because she is the one who put me onto you. And when I told her I was coming to the island, I was like, anyone you know, because she had lived here. She's like, anyone you know that I should have on the show? And she's like, this guy, TK the artist. Just like, she's like, I actually don't know him very well, but there's something about his vibe. And I think you just have a great conversation with him. Lo and behold, here we are.
Yeah, shout out to Anya.
Yeah, for real, for making the connections.
Thank you.
Something I find really remarkable also is how inclusive you are. Even for this interview, you're like, we gotta have Jayden here. He's such a big part of the project, and this is his space, and this is the perfect place to shoot it. But also, like, when I was going through your website, how you were like, meet the team. Like I don't roll alone. Like I roll deep. Now that it's out, it's done. Do you feel like, because when we're working towards a goal, we have this idea in our mind of like what we hope to feel. Like, do you feel now on the other side of it that you're there, or did anything come up that has surprised you?
I'm just happy that it turned out the way that it. Yeah, I'm happy to be here. I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah.
No, I'm super grateful for how the project turned out. Like, just the piece of art that it is. It's like, I think it's something to be proud of.
Like, the project is just being born. Like, this is the beginning. It's like, it's not.
You're a newborn parent.
Yeah, it's not like an ending of now it's done. No, this is just the beginning. But I get what you mean. Like, from the aspect of we worked on it for a couple of years. I feel lots of fulfillment. Like, the fact that I released my first debut album at the age of 25 is crazy to me. And it's like with such like it's a great project, and I feel a lot of fulfillment. I feel very proud of it. I'm definitely like filled with a lot of pride and joy. That's how I feel with this project.
I feel proud as well. Like, I'm sharing in your joy,
Thank you.
And I'm even more so sharing in your joy that you're going to be touring soon and sharing this music live and actually getting like audience what do you call this, reaction from sorry guys, I'm getting hungry. What's happening to me?
It's a great segue.
Yeah, it's a great segue. Anyways, what I meant to say is I'm happy and excited for you. You're going to tour. The people are going to love it. Y'all are going to dance. And right now we're going to eat.
Okay, let's get to the food.
So he doesn't know what we brought, but I bet you that y'all have tried this before because they're kind of legendary around here. We went to Trinity-to-the-Bone.
Okay.
Have y'all been there?
Trinity-to-the-Bone.
But okay, so these are called doubles. These are vegetarian. They've got some different sauces on it, chutneys, but it's chickpeas in this like kind of like dough.
It's like a wrap.
Well, it's doubles. It's just like it's a snack food. Okay, that let's go in.
Okay.
Doubles from Trinity-to-the-Bone.
That's good.
That's really good. This is called Bus Up Shut, and
it
it's
looks like a
goat with curried potatoes. I did some research also on what like Nigerian food is like, because you said that's your favorite kind of food.
This literally looks like egusi soup. It's crazy.
And that's why I chose it. I was listening. I paid attention, and I care.
Thank
That's
you.
a research.
That's very good. Yeah,
You know?
you do it. This is very good interview.
Yeah.
For real.
Yo, get in there. I didn't wait. The goat is very tender, really flavorful. The curried potatoes are nice as well. There's a reason why they only do this on Saturdays. I have rapid fire fun questions.
All
to
right.
ask.
Okay.
Fire away. So is it
You
one at
ready?
a time or?
Well, maybe hold the mic in between the both of you.
Okay.
Do you have a creative ritual?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yoga.
Word.
He's stretching. He's
Yeah.
stretching.
Yeah, I stretch for every before and after. Yeah.
Major green flags for creative collaborations.
If I feel comfortable around you.
Say again.
If I feel comfortable around you.
Just openness to changing things. Just to ideas. Just to more ideas.
Major red flags for creative collaborations.
Toxicity.
Toxicity.
Yeah, a rigid nature. Yeah,
Who brings the snacks to the studio and what's the go-to?
I'm always feeding. I swear.
We usually have, Violet makes cookies too. And then we usually have tea.
Yeah, there's always tea.
There's always
here.
tea. Tea is a staple.
Yeah,
I guess that's one of the rituals, tea. We always boil a pot of
Yeah, we always
kettle.
put on tea, always cook dinner, and always have food if people are hungry. I don't know. That is the vibes.
Yeah, very homey.
We do.
Nourishment.
Yeah, we provide the nourishment.
You hear those songs, the nourished songs.
I love that.
Yeah.
If these studio walls could talk, what would they say about you?
You turn the gain down.
Turn the game down.
I'd say turn it up.
Turn it up. Turn me up in it.
I'd say just keep going. I don't
Hey.
know.
See,
I'm
this is
vibing.
fire.
Who's an artist or collective that's inspiring you right now, whether local or global?
TK inspires me. Poncho inspires me. My sister inspires me. Caleb inspires me.
Aya Star.
Okay, if your current music taste were a dish, what's on the plate? What are the flavor profiles?
Current, like right now.
Yeah, your music taste were a dish.
Egusi soup and pounded yam. With some jollof rice and chicken on the side with plantain and coleslaw. And if we're expanding the diet, you can have some oha soup with some dodo and fufu.
Yeah, I'd get the jollof in there.
Yeah, you get
I'd
jollof
get
right
that
away.
African something in there, and then what does jazz sound like? It's like grapes, like some fruit,
Wine.
some fine wine, some
And some soul food.
Dream collab, local or global? Anybody.
Oh, bro, there's too many. Where do I even start, bro? Use of days.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I don't even know what we would do, but we'd
Like a
do
drum
something-
battle?
Yeah, like a
Like-
drum battle. Just go off.
that'd be over.
Masego.
Yeah.
I guess that's like international and stuff. And then local, I want to make an EP with Sade Awele. I think she's really nice.
My guy J. Cole, right there.
Yo.
I've always wanted to do something in that with him in that lane.
Okay, you walk into the green room. What 3 snacks have to be waiting for you?
Water. Like, that's all I need before a show. I just need hydration.
Honestly, just like water and then an
space.
assortment of fruit. Like I just like to eat fruit. When I'm at a show, I'd probably eat my full type of meal beforehand. So when I'm there, just something light.
The first time I felt like an artist was when?
It was probably when I was very young, because I used to draw a lot, and I would look at things and I would see like faces and figures in them and whatnot. Like I would look at the ground and I'd see a bunch of different faces.
In the studio, I'm the one who always...
Turns the volume up.
You.
That's me.
He gives me ear damage every single.
Bro, I swear it's
He
not
does
even
the
that
one
loud.
thing where he just yanks the volume to the loudest, and I'm like, and then he brings it down, and I'm like, okay, yeah, we've gotten that out of the system. I'm the one who always makes edits to things. Always comes up with something new. It's like, oh, the song is done, and then I'm like, actually, can we add this trumpet over here? Can we do this guitar thing? Can we change the key? Can we move this?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm
Then we end up Control Z.
and then we, I'm
undo.
always tweaking things. That's definitely me.
My creative process is powered by blank and interrupted by blank.
I like quiet and noise interrupts it. Just like unnecessary stress and stimulation. I really like, that's why I like the island. It's very quiet and it helps me hear the music. And I don't like too much like stimulation around.
That's good.
Yeah.
Me?
Likewise.
5 years from now, I hope people say blank when they talk about this project.
I hope people say that they enjoy it, that it impacted them.
I hope they say, wow, that was a time.
It was such a good time talking with the both of you.
Thank you. It was a great time talking to you.
Thank you
too.
for making time,
Of
for
course.
sharing a bit more about your process, about also like your own personal creative journeys and influences that got you to this place. So do you want to shout out any upcoming dates, shows, also where people can find more of your music? And they can find you
at tktheartistmusic.com. Everything TK the Artist, all my social media pages, email, contacts, photos, all of that at tktheartistmusic.com.
Ayo. How about you?
Me, just Instagram, Jayden Brown Creative. That's where you can find me. You can find a link to all of the projects I've worked on there. And just Jayden Brown on Spotify, Apple Music, all of the things.
Yes.
That's it.
Check it out, y'all. Much love and respects to everybody who's tuned into the live stream, who are watching the replay after. We appreciate you. This has been the final of our Victoria chapter for now. My name is Kazi, and y'all have been tuned in to Beats, Eats, and More. Bye.
Yeah.